All right, it is 6:45. Sorry for being a few minutes late. We had some problems getting connected to the internet, of all things.
Welcome to Life with Comporium.
It seems to be a
Common factor.
common factor, doesn't
Yeah, that
it?
has nothing to do with David's infrastructure here. It's just I
No,
wouldn't connect there for a minute.
no. Matt Queen, who just left, would say he is the best in the world at wiring stuff up. So it can't be him.
Matt
Never.
Queen do all this stuff?
He did. Unfortunately, he got a little bit of my money.
Poor old Reggie.
Well, not really mine. Not my money, but anyway.
All right, we'll give it a few minutes to see if anybody gets on here.
Heck, I don't even know how to get on here.
And then we'll get rolling.
Trying to figure out, is it showing up on here?
I don't see it anywhere yet. Not yet. It is now.
Oh, we're live. We're live. Go live now.
How do we do this?
I don't know.
It's our first time.
All right, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. We had some technical difficulties getting started this afternoon.
Now we're live?
Now we're live.
We're live.
We had a problem getting connected to the internet, of all things. Not the infrastructure, definitely the service provider.
That's right. Man, you got to turn that down.
We have an in studio audience member.
Yeah, we have an in-studio audience member today.
Oh, goodness.
It's going to buy something and watch at the same time. How about that? Come on down.
Hey, come on down.
After hours, 10% blowout if you get here in the next
what?
45 minutes.
Do what? Do what?
10% off. We put one of these baits in front of Shane and said it was $100.
Well, it's 10% off, though.
Oh, so that would be $90.
That would be $90. All right. So, the topic of the day is, let's start with the herring spawn. Since I went down to Murray.
Hang on. Before you dive into this, you've been a lot of places practicing for what if tournaments.
Not necessarily practicing. I'm just not like everybody else. I'm not afraid to get in my truck and go fishing away from Lake Norman or Lake Wiley. Like, I'm not going to call any names, but there's a lot of guys around here that are terrified to get off their home water. And I'm just going to tell you this. You're never going to get any better fishing the same places over and over and over and over and over.
There's some small truth to that.
There's a giant truth to that.
What if you have to work Monday through Friday?
Here's the thing about that.
Oh, okay.
When it comes to Saturday or Sunday, you can get in your vehicle and drive to one of those lakes.
I go.
I didn't say you didn't.
Oh,
Did I say Brandon?
No, you didn't. I was just
Okay.
making sure all of
All
our
right.
viewers knew it wasn't
All
about
right.
me.
I'm not targeting that toward anybody.
Yeah.
I'm just saying in general, David.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
don't you worry. I have a hall pass for Wednesday. I will be there.
Oh Lord.
I will be there with you Wednesday.
Yeah, at freaking 9 o'clock when they just waiting for the sun to come up and you're already sunburned.
I heard you lined up the ringer to go down there, though.
I
Yeah, he
haven't lined
tried.
anybody else yet.
He tried. He got told on today. He thought he was being slick and got caught.
I would have told you.
I hate it when I. No, you wasn't. When I confronted you, you denied it. I hadn't talked to anybody.
Oh, well, yeah, you're right. I did talk to him.
I did.
Oh
talk
yeah,
to
I
him
did.
personally.
I did talk to Round Man,
Well,
who's like the Lake Wiley or Lake Watery Hammer.
he's one of many hammers down there.
Well, it's kind of like the initial post said. David Winters and Mike Stevens going to line up your local ringer. So y'all working on it.
Oh, we can go down singles.
I'm game.
You get the rest of the crew on board and we'll go.
Hamrick's
No,
out.
Hamrick's out.
Hamrick
Hamrick's
got
out.
Hoover.
No Hoover. Hamrick's not coming.
Big Earn's on.
Big Earn.
Big
He needs to come too.
Big Earn's been whacking striper in the river. He ain't going nowhere.
Man, that son of a gun, I've asked and begged and pleaded for him to take me down there behind the dam, and I still haven't got to go.
Get your kayak. There's probably one back there somewhere.
Maybe I can talk to David and let me borrow a kayak.
I want to see you paddle a kayak out there in the current and try to fish. That'd be funny.
Well, that's the thing. You don't do that. You use the kayak to get on a rock, and then you fish.
What are you gonna do with the kayak while you're on the rock?
Well, you can tie it to your leg or
Well,
waist or
If
whatever.
he bought it from you, just let it
Yeah,
float
it
down the
don't matter.
river.
It's man, it's not my kayak.
True.
It'll come out down there fishing creek somewhere.
Rob will pick it up.
Yeah.
The kayak's not big enough.
Mark Sleep said he's game one-on-one.
That's right. Yeah, Lord.
He's not afraid. Well, Shane said, so we got all these baits lined out here, so
Yeah, we got a whole bunch
since
of
we
stuff
didn't,
laid
since
up
we didn't
there.
publicize what we're going to talk about tonight, so it is the end of April, and the water temperature's getting close to 70.
The fish are
Fish are
the spawn is approaching being over.
All
There's
right.
still some stragglers, there always is, because just the weather's kind of been unstable, and the lake levels of what's really been unstable, up and down. But still, it that's not going to stop the shad from spawning or the herring from spawning, depending on where you're at. Both of those are. It's a really, really fun deal. I've been to Murray. Went down there last week and was fortunate enough to have a really good time. I mean, we just had one of those, got lucky and pulled up on one of those places where they were at and put the power poles down, sat there for 4 hours, and just, we just beat on them. It was a lot of fun. I think our best five was a little over 23 pounds. So it's anytime you can go do that and catch them all on top water.
that's
good
23
day.
pounds post spawn too. That's getting it.
Yeah, it was a good day.
Did you have a big one that day, or were they all about the same?
Right at 6 was our big one. The rest of them were just all solid 4.5, and change.
What's the biggest bag you ever caught on Murray? I'm fished a bunch of BFLs down there. You 24 one year?
I've caught
February?
in the tournament, I think 25 something was the biggest I had. I've had a couple 24-pound bags. Murray's been really good to me over the years. That's probably my favorite lake in the United States to go to, and I've been to quite a few of them. I haven't been to all of them, of course, but
Speaking of Murray, Chris Marshall you got on here. So
yeah,
don't
there you
forgive
go.
it. Don't
Chris,
forgive
there
any
you
Lake
go.
Murray
There you
secrets
go.
away.
We're gonna tell all of Chris Marshall's secrets.
Chris heard Murray, his ears perked up.
He's not afraid to go anywhere.
Nah,
He's got to drive everywhere
he
goes.
does. Where that guy lives at, it's 2 hours for him to go put his boat in the water.
But anyways, all right. So 70 degrees ish. We've had some cooler mornings.
Yeah, I think it was 47 this morning. It's kind of chilly, but it didn't slow him down any.
Yeah. So we've got the shad spawn and the herring spawn, right?
Yeah.
And they don't spawn the same places.
It's a totally different
Totally
game.
different game. And some of the same baits work the same, but I'll never forget the first time that I actually found a shad spawn. Feels like forever ago now. I didn't know what the heck was going on.
And I was telling my buddy that went with me to Watery this morning. That was the first time that I was ever around the shad spawn. I had no idea what it was. It's back when you used to fish against each other in the Redmans, which is now BFLs. I was telling him, we pulled up there with this guy, and he started throwing a weightless 6-inch lizard in the shad spawn. I'm like, I didn't know what was going on. This guy was catching a fish every cast. And I've tried that since, and I still can't make that happen for me. But this guy obviously did, because I think he won the tournament. If he didn't win, I know he finished second.
On a 6-inch lizard?
On a 6-inch lizard in the shad spawn.
How about that?
I guess you make do with what you got at that
Yeah,
point.
I guess. I mean, like I said, I'd never seen it before, had no idea what was going on, and after the tournament was over, I cornered that dude in the boat, and I'm like, look, I want to know what just happened, because I didn't catch crap.
You got your teeth kicked.
Yes, I did. He kicked a lot of people's teeth in that day.
So the first time I found it, I was just kind of riding down the lake at daylight, and there were bass. I mean, this was 20 years ago. Bass jumping pretty much into the rocks
Yeah.
And I didn't know what was going on. I was like, but I know what those are, and I need to go over there.
That's like this morning. I seen a couple times this morning. You know how the watery has that grass in it. The bass were actually pushed themselves up in the grass, and they're sticking out of the water. They look like redfish.
Holy cow!
I mean, they're up to their eyeballs out of the water, and they just get up there and just move through the grass, and they were just eating everything inside. It was nuts.
Maybe that's why they bite a weightless lizard.
Yeah, it may be, but I've never seen them do that before. I mean, get up that shallow. You know, of course, we've all seen them blow up in the rocks and
Sure.
push shad up in the rocks. But I mean, these fish were, you could see them. They would get a running start and gut up through the grass and just lay up in the grass with their mouth open.
That's crazy.
I've never seen anything like it.
Well, one thing about the shad spawn is you catch a lot of stuff out of it, not only bass. Catfish.
Yeah.
We
Blue
caught
herons.
we caught we didn't catch any of those today. We caught a couple white bass though, and that's the first white bass I've seen around here in a really long time.
Out of watery?
Yep.
There's a few down there.
I didn't know that. Man, when I was a kid, we used to go up Seven Oaks or Catawba Creek, whichever one you want to call it, depending on how long you've been around here,
Yeah.
and tie it to the bridge when they'd run. And then just throw a little quarter-ounce white rooster tail and a little Cleo spoon and just, load the boat with
Big
them.
ones too.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. Those things are gone.
Chris Marshall says he wants to go. Been wanting to go to Murray or somewhere in South Carolina on the Harris Spawn. Nobody wants to go. My phone has not rang, sir.
I guess that's an open invite.
Yeah. But anyway, while I was sitting here, let's talk about this herring spawn and baits. This right here, of course, is the seems to be the going thing for the herring spawn right now. Of course, it's I'm a little stick chrome. In my opinion, you don't need but two. You need a chrome one and a bone one, and you just kind of rotate them back and forth, see which one that they like the best. And when I'm searching for them, like if they're not actively blowing up or whatever, when I'm running point to point looking for them, I know this is crazy, but I like this right there. It's a Strike King KVD Mega Dog in chrome. The bigger the better down there. You know, you see people want to throw little bitty baits and stuff like that. Well, herring are not little bait fish, so the bass tend to want a bigger bait. That's kind of what I'm throwing when I'm looking for them.
Striper don't bite either one of those, do they?
Yeah, the stripers, especially at Murray, the stripers are kind of what do they call it on a byproduct. It's a byproduct of what you're looking for. It's still, you know, when you're out there just messing around, it's still a lot of fun catching them.
I've had practice days down there completely derailed by the striper schooling because they always bite.
Yeah, they are
don't
not
think about
bashful.
it.
No,
They
they
do
are.
not think about it.
They are not bashful at
They
all.
always bite. It's fun.
Yeah,
And the bigger the better. I've seen herring down there bigger than that
Yeah.
before. I've seen them twice the size of that on Santee.
those big river herring.
Man, them things are huge.
Yep.
You think they look like little, almost like skipjack herring. They get so
Yep.
big down there, like little tiny tarpon. But anyway, so the herring spawn. How long does that go on? Is it a water temperature thing?
Yeah, it is. It's I think just from what I've seen, anytime the water gets above 60, they are, you know, I think that's kind of when it starts. I think your prime temperature is around 70, and then you know, it kind of depending on water temperature is depending on how long it lasts throughout the day. The warmer it gets, obviously, the shorter, you know, your window is to catch them.
Sure.
But I think you know, when you go on those cloudy, overcast days, I think that will prolong it for that particular day.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of guys that say no, that's wrong. They love the high bright sun when it's slick. I personally don't like that. I don't think that they feed as well. But there again, that's just me, and everybody has their own opinion for that.
Now, herring like shad, will they spawn all night long too, or is it just in the mornings?
You know, I've never tried the herring spawn at night, so I really can't speak on that?
Well, Dave is our night guru.
What?
Do the herring spawn all night long like shad do, or is it?
Some say yes, but it's different.
Gotcha.
Herring are different. I mean, there's rumored to be herring in Wiley.
Well, if that's the case, then they spawn all night.
Is it true? I have personally, yes, caught some herring here.
God.
But do I think the herring spawn is a major player here at Wiley? Not so much. I think what happens is the bay fish all get bunched up together and they just go
I got you.
and they figure it out. But yes, you can catch fish on Wiley the same way you can at Murray and other lakes. It's just not as productive as a traditional shad spawn.
Well, traditional shad spawn, I don't feel like I know what we're talking about anymore. So, I typically just throw spinner baits, and I've actually kind of found my love for a spinner bait again this year. I kind of quit throwing it for a long time, but it seems to. I guess the fish have seen enough bladed jigs lately that they seem to really start biting it again.
Well, that was one of the things that myself and John Martin at True South designed 2 years ago. Was the live wire 2.0 spinnerbait. I had a big hand in that. Just I really enjoyed doing that, and it was aimed specifically at the shad spawn, just because it's a heavier spinnerbait that you can reel really fast.
Yeah, that's the one I throw.
And you got to. I think that's kind of an important deal when those fish are up there going crazy and they're not really looking at what they're biting. They're just feeding on whatever they can get, and there that little deal goes flying by them, and they
That's the point of weightless lizards.
yeah.
Well, are there any colors? We got a lot of chrome and bone here. That's for the herring stuff.
So that's typically your herring stuff. This other stuff here, like everybody knows about this, it's the original Mikey Senior, the big Mikey, which they don't make anymore. But if you are fortunate enough to have some, you have one of the best nighttime shad spawn lures that has ever been created. Now we've seen a lot of people go to this right here, which is a Bloody Thumb lures. It's a Superman wake. It it just kind of does the same thing. You just can't reel it quite as fast. And this particular bait right here is one of my favorites for shad spawn fishing at nighttime. And it's a Jackal Chan wake. It makes a lot of noise in the water, and I think it helps the fish, dial in on it a little more.
Those things are bulletproof too.
Yeah, those are pretty tough. You're not near as apt to knock the bills out of them or things like that, because that's going to happen when you're throwing these baits, because you are throwing them directly up into the rocks and beating them off rocks and docks and whatever's in your way, and if you're like me, you're getting old, you can't see at night, so you just fling it up there and listen for it to hit something.
Well, it's hard to beat the original standby, the red fin.
Oh yeah.
I believe that was the original wake bait.
Right.
Yeah, the problem is the red fins. You got to crank it so slow to wake it, unless you modify it, and then it just, I don't know. Yes, it works, but there are better options.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Y'all are speaking a different language from me. I'm not out there at night, so.
Well, everybody should go out there at night at least one time, especially during the shad spawn. It is lots of fun. The common thing where everybody goes out there and they think it all happens right at dark, and it's the exact opposite. You're better off to wait till 12 or 1 in the morning and go out there and fish the daylight. Yeah, because the shad, and I know we were talking a while ago about herring at night. I can't speak for the herring, but I do know the alewives spawn heavily at night, and they get up in there with the shad, and everything's up there eating them. So it's a good time, a lot of fun.
Alewives, do they get just as big as herring?
They get about the same size as herring. If you lay them out and look at them, they almost look identical. The major difference between the alewives and the herring is once a bass gets after herring, he comes to the top. That's why you see all the schooling.
Right.
The alewive does the exact opposite. When the fish get after them, they go deeper. That's why when people are at Lake Norman say, man, there's bait everywhere 30 feet deep. Well, guess what that is? It's alewives. It's all alewives.
I didn't know that.
Wiley's been plagued with the same curse. That's why they don't school
That's
anymore.
that's right.
You know, that's why you'll pull out here in another 2-3 weeks. You'll pull out here in the mornings. The lake will be slick calm, and you'll see pods of bait everywhere. As soon as the sun comes up, the fish can see them,
They go.
identify them, straight to the bottom.
They
And
go.
that's where they stay.
Yep.
That's why night tournament guys have been complaining. It hasn't been starting until about 1 o'clock in the morning.
The
So,
alewives.
yeah, there's the shad spawn, quote unquote, hasn't started until 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, that's because they're just getting fired up.
Gotcha.
Fish are just now getting to them, and they'll feed until the morning time, and by 9 o'clock, it's over.
Game over.
So I've always heard that a bass will pass a shad to eat a herring. Is it the same for an alewife?
I can't really say. I would imagine probably so. I mean, I'm
Well,
sure. I'm
if you
sure
can
they
eat a
can't.
bait this big, or one
or one
that big,
or one
what are you
that or
gonna
one
do?
or
What
one
are you
that
gonna
big.
do?
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't know. So I'm asking.
I mean, opportunity, sir.
So whatever's there, they're going to eat. It's opportunity, right?
Most nutrition.
Gotcha.
Speaking of old night riders, there's the biggest one I know.
Yep, Sean Wallace
Sean
just
Wallace.
chimed in. Christian Shoda's got his little emoji on here. He and I have had many long conversations of herring, alewives, or shad about Wiley. He is one of the others that figured it out early,
I'm
so to
sure-
speak.
I'm sure he hasn't forgotten it. He's in Florida now. I'm sure that what is that, a chin scratching emoji? He'll probably ask us a question here
Yeah,
later.
they can't fish at night down there though.
He
Kid,
needs
too many,
to just-
too many alligators.
Too
He
many
just
alligators.
needs to worry about them shiner steaks down here and quit worrying about what Wiley's doing.
Did alligators spawn at night too?
Yeah, they spawn all the time. 13-foot alligator spawn whenever he wants to.
You know, I've heard some alligators at night at Santee bow fishing and it'll scare you.
Oh gosh.
So all these are hard baits. You talking about grass? I said a spinnerbait and a bladed jig earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you throw one of those around that's water willow at
Yeah,
watery,
watery.
right?
Yeah.
That thing, you're gonna have to go in there and get it.
Well, you can always. Don't really want to let the cat out of the bag on this, but I guess I will since we're talking about it. A Reaction Innovation Skinny Dipper is a
Stop talking. Just stop.
you know
While you're at it, just stop.
it's one of those things that people see as a swim bait where you just take it out there, peg a bullet sinker on the nose and wind it through the grass. Well, a lot of things that one of the things that I think in my opinion gets overlooked with that thing is fishing it on top.
All right.
And
They make a bait for that. That's a tricky
well,
short.
they do, but it's a totally different action.
Okay.
Because you can take the skinny dipper, or they make a really big one called a big dipper, and put a big Hayabusa hook in it, and just reel it on top with the tails up on top, just kicking like a big buzz bait.
Okay.
And you know,
Hey, Mike Seawright, I know you're watching. Make a mental note for Wednesday. You'll thank me later.
but you know, that's just kind of a off the wall thing that most people don't do, and everybody doesn't know about. You know, it's kind of a what would you say, I don't even know, a limited edition to our podcast. How about that?
A best kept worst
Yeah,
secret.
you got to be you got to be here to get the goodies. How about that? That's a good way to put it.
Christian Shoda just said a lot of night tournaments in Florida. He said the bugs are worse than the gators. I believe that. I'd believe that.
Well,
As
I
many
think-
times as I've been in
I
Florida.
think he's actually won a night tournament down there.
I'm just gonna tell you this: I'm out on Florida night tournaments. Nope.
You can swim. I've seen you.
Yeah, no, I can't. Not better than alligator. I'm out. They like short little fat guys. I'm out.
Short little fat guys. Well, we can end it right there.
So what you're saying is, if you night fish in Florida, it's like running from a bear. You don't have to be fast, just faster than your partner.
That's right.
So it's the
Exactly
same thing in
right.
Florida, you just
Yeah.
gotta swim faster.
You
than
gotta you gotta outrun your buddy. Exactly.
You guys aren't right, for sure.
Yeah, man, we got to have a little fun. Talk a little crap.
That's right. What about square bills? You got one of them laying over there. Is
That's
that a
not
wake
a
bait?
square bill.
That's a wake bait, too.
It's new to this year. Strike King. No, not. Well, that one's a good one.
Oh, you talking about this one?
Strike King ICAST. Is it ICAST? Yeah,
I
ICAST
don't know.
released a 2.5 wake bait for.
With of course, Kevin Van Dam on the
Oh,
picture,
you
on the
know.
package.
Most paid angler in bass fishing.
He the man.
And
Well,
then we have, last but not least, a little project that I talked Brian into doing personally.
This one?
Yep. That is a copy of the old Excalibur XR6 wake bait that you cannot buy anymore. If you do buy one, it's $40, $50.
Are they going that much?
They're going that high now.
I got some for sale. How many you want?
It is called the Egg Hammer.
Egg hammer. Is your name spelled right on the back of that one?
I'm not on the back of that one.
You're
No.
not?
No. That's a story for another day.
There
I
you
got
go.
fired.
No, you're on this one.
That was before I got fired.
That's right on that one.
Yep, that was before I got fired.
You got fired?
You got fired?
I don't know, probably. Wouldn't be the
Chris
first
Marshall
time.
wants to know is it's as good as the Excalibur.
Chris, it is. It actually holds up a little bit better than Excalibur. You can beat the rocks twice with this one, whereas with Excalibur, you only got once out of it.
I think I just heard Chris's truck start.
How many we need to hold back for you, Chris?
Chris, I got you covered, buddy. What's funny to me is being in the shop, watching, seeing what people buy. There's not many people that have even picked that up. And if you want a loud but yet subtle wake bait, that's probably the best one there is.
Well, you
The
know,
original one was loud. It was very loud.
And that one's just as loud. I
Really?
mean, you'll call them.
Chris says all of them.
sold, sir. We do overnight shipping.
We do. Bring the wallet.
There's coal. The coal's in the middle of that too. It says you can burn it. It stays on the surface. So
It does.
Cole
It-
knows all about that.
Yep.
It does. I actually, believe it or not, I hate to say this, but I just put it to the test. I threw it Saturday morning, and until I decided to send it on an errant cast and
Uh-oh.
was not able to retrieve it.
He gone.
It was gone. But it is one you can actually take an 8-3 to 1, turn it as fast as you want to, and it will not blow out. It will not. It will.
It
run.
keeps coming.
It runs.
And you know that's a problem with a lot of these other wake baits is,
They're real
in
slow.
my opinion, you have to reel them so slow that you know it's just aggravating trying to keep them from rolling over or, like you said, blowing out.
This one, being that it's so large, the Mikey Senior personal experience, you can burn that if you can handle it, because it does drag a lot.
Yeah.
This one you can burn. All the rest of those, you can only go so fast.
Right.
So fast. And Shane, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but sometimes the faster, the better.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially with dealing with spots.
Yep.
And, you know.
Absolutely. I love being able to reel something fast. You know, that's kind of like going back to that spinnerbait I was talking about a while ago. You know, it's got a hidden weight on it for one reason, and that's to be able to reel it fast. You know, that's the sole purpose of that spinnerbait, is to be able to reel it fast. You want to get that reaction bite off of those fish.
So that spinnerbait special, you call it live wire, and it's because of the lightness of the wire, right?
That's right.
I mean,
It has
it's
a-
very light.
Yeah, most spinnerbaits have a 31 thousandths wire on them. I'm not going to go into details exactly what the size of wire is, but I will tell you that it's thinner than that.
Yeah.
But the way the spinnerbait is built, it's also way more durable, because when you catch a fish and people are, you know, most of us are going to boat flip that fish, especially if it's smaller than 3 pounds. Most people are going to boat flip it, and the first thing happens is your spinnerbait bends straight out.
Yep.
Well, the way this one is designed, It doesn't do that. And there again, I'm not going to get into specifics. Just go buy you some of them and try them.
Yeah, and I'll say the wire moves so much because it's so thin, it almost acts like a titanium wire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really doesn't get bent out of. Let's just put it this way: if it can withstand 25 spots on Lake Norman in the morning,
Yeah.
and you have to fix it once or twice, you can't do that with any other spinnerbait I've ever thrown.
When I was testing them, the most I ever got out of one before it broke was 42. It broke on the 43rd fish.
That's more than most spinnerbaits. Period.
That's right.
Before the skirt falls off.
Yeah,
Of them.
they chew the skirt off of it. That's right.
So I'm gonna bring up one that we unfortunately don't have here on the table. I do have one or two in my garage. The original Sure Slayer.
Oh my Lord.
Now,
That's throwing it way back.
if you want a shad spawn bait and you don't mind fishing an aggravating thing, but you want to catch them, Sure Slayer is where it's at.
Does anybody copy that?
I know one individual who I'm friends with on Facebook that does make them. His name's Denny Gilbert, and the story I've been told, and I don't feel that he would lie to me, don't know how factual it is, but he has Jonas's original molds for the Sure Slayer bodies with the original blade combinations.
Wow.
Now, I'm surprised a guy like you hadn't talked John Martin into it.
That's never been my thing. I've seen that thing in action. I've seen it catch fish, but
It's a pain to fish.
it's kind of not. It's kind of. I hate to say it's goofy, but it's a goofy looking bait.
I can't say that I know what a Sure Slayer is.
Oh boy.
I got a Google project.
I'll dig in.
It's probably not even on Google.
You don't think so?
Well,
Nah.
you guys keep rolling. I'll do some digging and see if I can't come up with something real quick.
That's like the only guided trip I ever took on Santee, and we flipped. This was when I was probably 8 or 9 years old. We flipped weedless spoons. It's the
That's
first
like
thing I
a
ever seen.
saltwater thing.
Who was your guided trip with?
I can't remember.
Well, the reason I asked that is I went on a guide trip at Santee one time back in probably the early 90s.
This is when this was. I was
And
90.
I went
92.
I went with the world famous Inky Davis.
What kind of boat does he
He
have?
has a blue and yellow gambler.
That's it.
He threw a Strike King Timber King
That's what it
spoon.
was. Yeah,
Dude,
it was
has
inky.
it hasn't been made, and he threw a Mr. Twister double tail, twin tail grub on it. It had 4 tails.
I don't remember all that. That was I was just a kid then, but
I remember.
that's what I remember.
I remember it because he caught 3 8-pounders on it.
Well, when I was 8, you were like 30.
I know, older than dirt. You're not funny, Brandon.
That's all right. Truth hurts, man. That's who it was. Is Inky, that big old ugly gambler. That's what it was.
Man,
I
that
could
thing
not
was terrible.
remember
I
his
hated that boat.
My dad took me when I didn't even know what Santee was.
Yeah, well, that was when I was first starting fishing. I was terrified of Santee, and me and actually another friend of mine, we went together on a deal with Inky, and he taught us a lot of stuff that day. It was the only bad thing is it was kind of like some of these baits here. It looked like this one here. It's like it's a good bait, but there's no way to get your hands on it.
Right.
And I have tried. They make several. I've tried a bunch of redfish spoons. I've tried all kinds of stuff, and it just don't seem to have the same effect.
That place is nuts. I wouldn't even. I've been down there a bunch since, but
Mike Seawright says he's got a few.
I don't doubt that a bit.
I wouldn't have a clue where we even went when I was with him.
Mike, text me a picture of it if you got one close by.
That was right after Hugo.
He has
too,
Sure
so-
Slayers or the
Sure.
spoon.
Probably Sure Slayers, no Mike.
Oh, okay.
He may have the spoons
He's
too.
probably got both of them. Be honest
Yeah.
with you.
He's got quite a tackle collection.
Just ask him to put it on the feed if he's got a picture of it. We'll see.
I don't know if he can do that.
Sure he can.
Yeah, you can take a picture and put it on there.
He can turn a depth finder on. He knows how to work a phone.
I wasn't meaning it like that, guys. Now, come on.
No, I'm just saying that he can put it on there. Just take a picture and load it on there. No big deal.
That's who that was. Inky. Is Inky still fish? Is he still?
You know,
going?
I don't know.
I heard his name. A couple of guys that I know from down at Santee.
Yeah.
I think he does still fish.
That dude was old then. When he took me, he was, I don't know.
Kyle must be drinking again. He's got hundreds and hundreds of comments to make.
He has nothing else to do.
He's about to have his hands full.
Kyle, why don't you get organizing diapers or something, buddy?
Oh man.
What's going on? So, there was something Saturday, right? So the rule is in South Carolina they're not giving out any permits, right?
No permits, but if you have less than 20 boats or less,
Okay.
Yeah.
you're okay
In South Carolina.
in South Carolina.
All right,
Social distancing, you got to stay away from each other, yada, yada, yada.
We can have 2 people in your boat now.
You can have 2 people in a boat. That is
You
okay.
can have more people in the boat, but only
Well-
one of them can be a non-family member.
That's right. And again,
Hey man, David called to talk to the DNR before we
no,
did
I
anything.
didn't call. DNR happened to stumble into my store,
Oh, there you go.
and I pinned him down and asked him because there was a little incident the other weekend, and we reeled it back into South Carolina where we know what the laws are,
I still got her butts kicked.
and still got yes.
Yeah, so let's talk about that little deal a little bit.
Well, it was tough on us.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
it's like
sucked. We had
tough.
like 13 and a half pounds.
We found a shad spawn.
Oh, yeah.
At one point, they were spawning on our boat.
Yeah, but
We had a moving shad spawn.
yeah, we did. But
Nothing like keeping them with you.
yeah, Hamrick and the world famous Roger Hoover, who has been on a
You mean
tear.
Roger Hoover and his net boy?
Well,
They ain't even
I
getting
wa-
that man.
I wasn't.
Oh, that
I
boy.
wasn't going to go there. I mean, you know, we all give Hamrick a hard time about Hoover carrying him, but all seriousness, Hoover has won nearly everything he's got in this year, whether it be a cat trail,
He really
the
has.
fire department trail, our little
Whatever you wanna call it.
less than 20 boat
Yeah.
tournaments we've been having. You know, that dude is you got to give him credit. You know, that dude he's been pretty solid this year. Hamrick's just been fortunate enough to be on the ride.
This is a original Sure Slayer. I don't know how we can put that on. That is
That is it.
one of the originals.
I don't know how to put that on there either.
I don't know either. Well,
Download it, David, and you can post it to it.
yeah, there you go.
I'll try.
If
If
you
I
can't
wreck
do
the
it,
podcast, sorry
if
guys.
you can't do it, give it to me. I'll put it on there.
Hopefully we won't crash it.
Yeah, well, I'll try. I'm not the most technical savvy.
Wayne Smelser's on here. Wayne was the guy that was with me the other day at Murray when we put a smackdown on him. It was pretty fun.
There's a Santee boy on here now too. Hey, Andy. Andy Rutledge is
Andy
on here.
Rutledge, yep, sure is.
Ask him if they're biting at Santee. He'll tell you.
No,
if
I
they're or
can't.
not.
I can't
Ask
ask
him.
any.
Oh, that's
I
right.
can't
You
ask
can't.
any
I forgot.
information.
Ask him if Inky Davis is still fishing.
Yeah, Andy, is Inky Davis still alive? Much less fishing. That's kind of a curious question.
All right. So anyway, so Saturday, while we get our questions answered, David tries to post this thing.
Yeah,
We had 13 and a half pounds, and caught. We caught.
we caught probably 20 fish.
But did we catch? We caught one out of the shad spawn,
One, the biggest one we had, a big spotted bass,
That's right.
probably 3.5 pounds.
and that was right at daylight.
Yep. First
So-
place we stopped.
So if you're going fishing tournaments, don't start at 7 this week.
Yeah, don't
right?
start at 7, guys,
go at
because
daylight.
you're missing the best 45 minutes of the day if
Yeah.
if you wait to 7.
I'm going to just interject simply because you're sitting at the table and I can. Only reason why Shane wants to go at safe lights because he can't catch them from 11 o'clock on.
The thing, I'm just going to tell you this: if I can't catch them from 11 o'clock on, you're sure not going to catch them from 11 o'clock on. So that being said, we can just start at 11 if you want to.
I'll try it.
Yes, we're gonna have a real one-on-one now.
We're gonna have a one fish winner.
I've seen that happen at High Rock.
Yep,
I've
me
seen
too.
that happen at High Rock. It was
Me-
a big one, but it was
Yeah,
one fish.
Brandon, I'm going to send this over to you. Let you be the tech guru.
Andy says last he heard, Inky was still alive. So
Well, we said fishing. You said alive. I mean, come
Well,
on.
I'm telling you, dude. When I went with him, the guy was old. I'm talking about old.
I mean, I
Real
understand
old.
that. I understand that.
I mean, it's a legitimate question.
I mean, I guess it is a legitimate question. I didn't think Mike Seawright was a real person until 2 years ago, and he kind of stumbled back into the picture.
Mike took some time off.
Mike
good
did take
job.
some time off,
So-
and I do have the utmost respect for Mike.
That's-
So
Absolutely.
you're the one that woke the sleeping giant.
Yeah, way to go, dummy.
Now, everybody
Anyway,
knows.
let's get back to our little deal Saturday. Hamrick and Hoover
20 pounds.
put the smack down on us again with 20, just a touch over 20 pounds. And I think Mike Stevens and Chris Carnes had 18 something.
They did have 18.
And they had one a 6-pounder, old big,
615.
old big out of Lake Wiley.
Yep.
You know what? It won't let you post pictures on live. I guess they used to let you do it. That's for censorship
Okay.
stuff.
Oh well.
Okay.
We'll get it
So
up there. We'll get up there when
that,
it's
and then
over.
if I'm not mistaken, Seawright and Mr. Aker were not Guy Aker. They were third
They were
with
third with
16 and change.
16-7, I think 16-7,
Yeah.
6 or something.
Yeah, I think there was a little smack talk went on there, kind of
there was a
pre-weigh in.
little-
Let's talk about that.
Shot a fire. Somebody shot one a little too early. And
Yeah, called somebody and just told them to go ahead and load it up. It was over.
Really, none. I haven't had any this week, there, buddy. And they're not donuts; they're cakes.
True trivia question.
Yeah, how about that,
We're gonna
Kyle?
turn this into truth or dare.
No,
No, I think we're gonna have to block Kyle.
Kyle's about to get blocked.
We're gonna have to block
He's
Kyle.
gonna get blocked from this too.
Yeah, he talks all this trash to everybody.
But you know what's funny is he never shows up to fish.
He don't, does he?
Never.
Never ever.
Well, last week he did ask you when the Bank Walkers tournament was going to start. You never responded.
I mean, I'm sorry, I got nothing for him. We all have boats. Sorry, buddy.
I'll
Your
tell
day
you.
will
I'll tell
come.
you what I got for him. I got something to pin them big flappers back so he can get to the lake. That's what I got for him.
He's gonna need him to stay in a boat. His parachute,
Man.
carry him off.
Well, at least he's got a good sense of humor. He's
That's right. Kyle dishes a lot of crap out, but he can take a lot of it too.
That's
So
right.
To
All
a
right.
point.
it's all good till he gets butt hurt. Then he has to whine and go home.
So if you can't tell by the comments, Mike Seawright just said I made a mistake. So
Oh, so Mike, I wasn't gonna tell who did that, but now since you've kind of let the cat out of the bag, let's give everybody a little humor. Seawright calls up Hamrick and tells him just to go ahead and load that Triton up. It's over with. And the way I understood, Hamrick told him, said, "Sir, I don't think you want to do that." Then he went ahead and had to inform him they had 20 pounds. But anyway,
did you
whatever we can do.
Did you post
What?
those pictures anywhere?
I did not post. No, they listen. They're proud of themselves. They posted their personal page.
All right.
Again, we're doing just some fun get together. Nothing sanctioned. No,
No kind of nothing. It's really just a
not
trash.
even really advertised.
No, it's really just a trash talking deal, just to have a little fun. That's all.
Fishing for bags of worms.
Yeah.
Chris Marshall, there you go. I've heard those stories, buddy. Maybe one day you'll educate him.
Yeah. So Hamrick and them, they came in. They had 20.04, and every one of their fish looked exactly the same.
They were all cookie cutters,
They
all
were
the same
slots.
size.
They were all slot fish for sure.
Yeah, and they didn't look too beat up either. They looked really good for
I
to
think
come out of
Shane, I
this
think
lake.
you and I threw back the same weight, and I just had to work a little harder with weigh these fish in. Still didn't get paid to do a job.
Hey man, at least you fish. Some tournament directors they don't fish. So I guess you weren't really a tournament director. You kind of just
Well,
had
what
the
do you
skills.
mean? At least I paid to fish. Some
Oh,
tournament
man.
directors don't pay to fish. Is that what you were saying?
Nah,
I'm sorry.
I don't know if we need to go there.
No,
That's
we
another
don't need.
road.
We don't need to go there. We need to get back to talking about fishing.
Anyway,
So I was surprised though. So Saturday morning, I mean, about everywhere on the bank we went, the shad were getting after it, and we caught that one fish, and that one fish that we caught out of the shad spawn, I will say it's a shad spawn. That was one of the places that we actually never even saw any shad.
Yep.
So
he was there waiting on the buffet, and the buffet never showed
Yeah.
up.
well, he was by himself. So,
And the buffet dodged him.
so I don't. It's been weird for me the last couple. We talked about this in the boat. I haven't done really well, just specifically on Lake Wiley in the past couple of years out of the shad spawn. Now, I've caught them in the mornings, but
I think the herky-jerky water level has got a lot to do with it.
well, I'm just saying most everybody that's watching this live knows what the shad spawn is, but if someone watches this later on and they see the shad spawn, it's not just what I'm trying to say is the bass
fish
aren't
all-
everywhere.
yeah.
Right.
They're not always there. That's
yeah.
true.
I had that happen to me at we were at an elite event at Lake Wheeler probably 3 years ago. I found the biggest shad spawn I've ever seen in my life, and there were no bass in it. And then
froze up.
Then
Uh-uh.
no.
Mine is.
Then come to find out, those guys, that's how the tournament got won. They were all catching them out of the shad spawn. I just found the wrong one.
Yeah, that's happened to me at High Rock several times.
Sure has.
You find that the shad spawn up there, it'll be the whole creek, and you can't get a bite
Yeah, you
out
can't
of
get
it.
a bite in it. It's crazy.
So
You wonder
I
where in
guess
the world all the bass are
I
at.
guess the main thing is just keep moving till you find them, because
Yeah.
it's over quick.
That's a fact.
The shad spawn is, anyways.
Yeah.
The overcast, wind, weather, type of stuff will prolong it, but just because you find it, it doesn't mean they're going to be there.
Right.
For sure.
Ooh. What else we got?
Sean
on here?
Wallace, that probably will never happen.
Sean Wallace wants to know when Johnny Parker is going to be on the show.
Now, Sean, you know that you can't count on Johnny Parker. That's not happening.
Man, don't you be talking about my Palmetto boat.
Oh yeah, he is your partner, isn't he?
Club, whatever that Palmetto boat, PBC
Palmetto Boat Trail.
Trail. Yeah, don't you be talking about my partner in that now.
So have they said anything to you guys about when that may be
So,
starting back up?
So last week it was on for Kiwi, May 2nd, until the governor announced whatever he announced. I didn't keep up with it, but they came and said that all tournaments have been canceled through May now.
All the way through May?
All the way through May, because there's
Wow.
no official permits, because there'll be well over 20 boats in that.
Yeah, what is it? Y'all have like
I
110?
think it's 110. They paid 10%, so they pay 11 places in all that. They paid 11 places at Murray and 11 places at Lanier.
Well, that's kind of a unique deal because didn't you guys had to pay? You had to pay all the entry fees
Yeah.
up front,
They
right?
pay them all up front. You know who you're fishing against for all,
Yeah,
for
there's
all
no
the tournaments.
There's nobody sliding in there
Yeah.
that's been out there practicing and all that bunch of stuff.
Well, that one's a little bit different. So you can practice the Friday before the tournament. You can actually go and practice.
Now that's kind
That's
of
kind
cool.
of cool. I like that.
So you can at least go see what the water level looks like, and how dirty it is in those places, and maybe get a couple bites before the tournament.
Yeah.
Which is good for me, because a lot of these lakes, I'm wanting to fish that trail so bad, because a lot of the lakes on the Savannah chain I know very little about or next to nothing about. So if you put your money in the pot, then you got to go fish them.
That's right. You can't sit there and go, well, I'll just skip this one.
Yeah.
You skip it, but it's going to cost you. I kind of like that idea, as to doing that. That way, you know from day one how much money,
Yeah.
what's paying what, this, that, and the other. It ain't,
Yeah, there's no funny business in it at all.
Right,
I mean,
right.
if somebody doesn't show, their money's already in the pot.
Yeah.
Everything's exactly the same.
That's right.
So,
Well, if they don't come, they just lose their money.
Yeah.
Go on, yeah.
but some guys have done that. I mean, they felt really good about Murray, right? I mean, $10,000 is first place in it. So you pay your half of the $1,100 to win $10,000. I mean, that's still a pretty good return on
Yeah.
if you win one of them.
If you win.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
The little fella just asked what he needed to throw.
Who?
The little fella.
Who's the little fella?
You know who the little fella is.
Oh, Queen, you need some 7.5 turkey loads and a full choke.
Extra full.
or extra full choke,
And
and
those $10 shells you told Kyle Wisn't to buy.
yeah, and one of those walk-up decoys. That's exactly what you need.
The way he's talking as good a turkey hunter he is, he should just take a knife.
They just walk up and surrender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But back to that, so the Palmetto boat, they said they're going to try to do one early in June, which I think is going to be Kiwi, which that'll be a,
Fairy wand fest.
yeah, it'll be tough.
Well, can your grass read to 90 feet?
Yeah, they
Ooh,
could.
boy.
You're covered.
You need them down there.
And then I don't know, so the next one on the schedule was supposed to be Russell. I don't know when they're going to go to Russell.
That's another fairy wand fest.
Well, when they were going to go, it was and going to be smack dab in the herring spawn, so it could have been fun.
Wow. Yeah, that's one of the few places that I've been and caught spotted bass on the herring spawn is
Yeah.
Russell. It's
Excuse you.
wow. But that's a lot of fun too, because those
You gonna let him out of there? You got somebody locked in the refrigerator?
Queen, are you in there?
Wow. Okay. Sorry to sidetrack here, but Andy Rutledge just asked a question that
Yeah, we were talking about this
I didn't-
Saturday.
how did I not know about it? I was supposed to be there.
Yeah, so Andy
Yeah.
wants to know how disappointing iCast being canceled is.
For me,
Not so much.
no, I mean I enjoy going to that. You know, it's one of the few times a year where the majority of the fishing industry is there. It's a good time to contact your sponsors. Good time to contact potential sponsors. You know, it's a lot of there's a lot of fellowship goes on at those things that you know, everybody thinks it's all business. Well, it's not all business. You know,
Actually, there's very little business that gets done.
yeah.
You can't buy anything at iCast, right?
No, you can't buy anything at iCast. It's you know, it's strictly like an ordering show.
If you're a dealer, you can pre-order.
Well, that's
Okay.
what I'm
You
saying.
can
You
pre-book the new stuff, but as
Right.
far as walking out with your pockets full, no.
Right. And there, you know, there's all kinds of stuff that goes on at iCast. And the coolest thing that I seen last year was I can't remember who it was, but somebody brought in a 300-pound big eye tuna and cut sushi off of it
Could
The-
get you off the table.
the entire time. Myself and a couple other guys, I don't know, they probably should have ran us off, really. I mean, we ate a lot of sushi.
Drink,
Oh, yeah.
A lot of
You
sushi.
drink your weight in soy sauce.
I mean, when they're cutting it fresh, I mean, you walk up there and they just cut it fresh, and oh my God, it was so good. And there's all kinds of things like that go on during iCast. It's just a lot of fun, and I'm gonna really hate not getting to go down there this year, but you know, I guess in the
Where was it this year? Is it the same place?
Orlando.
Orlando.
It's in Orlando. It's in Orlando every year.
Okay. For some reason, I thought they went to Vegas. Oh, that's the
no.
truck thing.
No, they went to Vegas a couple.
SEMA show.
SEMA.
But they also ICAST was in Vegas, but then
It used to rotate back and forth.
Yeah, they cut that out though.
Yeah, well, because you know the majority of the fishing industry is in the southeast,
Right.
Yeah.
so it cut down on travel and save money and things like that. You know, they just started having it in Orlando every year, and plus it kind of doubled as like a little vacation. This past year I didn't take my family with me, but in years past we've done Disney and SeaWorld, and my little girl loves SeaWorld.
Who doesn't?
Man, that's the most awesome place in the world. They can have Disney, but
You better hurry and go if you're going to go. They're as soon as when the killer whales are gone, that's it.
that's it.
They're never getting any more.
Yep, that's it. As sad as it is.
Yeah.
So they're gonna finally live up to their conservation mindset.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Hmm.
When what's there is gone, that's it.
My wife and I went a couple of years ago. I guess probably 3 years ago. We went for one of our anniversaries. We went down there. She couldn't ride any rides. She was pregnant with our little girl.
Yeah,
We had a good time.
that's right.
My
Queen.
wife, I won't even be able to get her there. I'll have to take my boys myself.
What,
Disney-
SeaWorld?
No,
Oh,
Disney.
Disney?
She'd probably do SeaWorld. She doesn't like being in the mob.
SeaWorld's not so bad.
SeaWorld's got rides too.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying she doesn't like the shoulder to shoulder
Gotcha.
walking through the park. You know, it's just
That's the trick to that is kind of go
When
in the
school's
off season.
Yeah.
You know, when it's not cool. If you can stand the heat in the summertime, that's probably the best time to go. But still, like I said, SeaWorld's not so bad anyway because you got a lot of water and stuff there anyway. You can ride some rides and get wet and cool off.
Sean. We're not letting Queen speak.
Uh-oh.
No, that's out.
We got some votes for Queen being a guest
No,
speaker.
no, that's out.
No.
I'll tell you what I'll do, Sean.
We could let him call in and just put him on mute.
No. He'll talk over that.
You'd hear the screech through the mute.
Oh.
Got a bunch of thumbs up there.
I guess everybody knows Queen. Yeah. What does everybody else have going on? Anything good?
You gonna do another thing Saturday somewhere?
I don't know. We'll see. Man, I got projects at the house I gotta get done too.
We only got 19 people watching right now, so it's under 20 bucks.
I know this. I know. I kind of want to go to Murray just to put the rest of the guys on the spot. Hamrick's already said he wouldn't go because Seawright would bring Ben Lee, and evidently that's a problem for Hamrick. I know Shane wants to go to Murray because he just caught 23 pounds down there. And
If I hadn't been in a year, I'd go.
I know you would.
That place is fun.
I won't ever question that about you. If I said let's go have a tournament at Lanier tomorrow, you'd be on board.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I guarantee the herring respond to that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
big spotted bass.
I don't know. We'll have to see what we'll have to see how the week shapes up.
My best friend's mother-in-law was on here earlier. That's who I stayed with when I went to Lanier. I don't know if she's still on here or not. If Debbie's still here. They took me and adopted me for 2 days.
Did they? That
Yeah,
was
man.
awful nice of them.
Heck yeah, it was. They fed me.
You
and
eat a lot.
everything. They fed me and turned me loose on the beer fridge and everything. And it was really nice of them.
Oh,
Come to Hickory.
no. I'm out.
That's one place I don't like.
I'm out on the Hickory.
I don't like Hickory. Unless it's January. I'm all right in January up there. I guess I'm all right when it's cold, period. But I don't like Hickory.
Kyle says I'm going.
No, Seawright. It has nothing to do with me. I had 14 pounds of little ones I threw back.
Now wait a minute, I held the bag on those.
I had 14 pounds.
We had
We weighed
17 then.
We had 17.
No, you didn't.
Ours are growing.
I think you put 6 in that bag too. Is that how you got 14?
No, sir. No, sir. I called on the water out front of the Buster Boy today.
Today?
The other day.
Did you have more in there? Is your boat out in the parking lot?
No, I didn't fish today, unlike the rest of this group.
There you go.
Jody-
I would
Jody
be,
Wright.
If Jody Wright's coming with Chris.
Yeah,
I'll
Jody
be
and
worried
Chris-
about
Jody and Chris said they'd
my-
come.
my
Listen, I wish
kid.
they'd come to Wiley. Chris showed up, hadn't been to Wiley in a year and a half, and wins the tournament and ghosts the lake. He won't come back.
I wouldn't either. This place is terrible.
I guess if you're
I don't
comparing
know.
it
Hammer caught 20 pounds, so I mean it's not too bad. Maybe we just suck.
to, this lake's produced 20 pounds for the last 3 weekends.
I believe it has.
Unfortunately, one weekend we didn't get to weigh them in.
Yeah, there was a couple 20-pound bags that day.
Well, close for sure.
I know the 2 weekends.
Oh,
What was
Round
the
Man
weekend
just
before?
jumped on. Hey, Round Man, just between you and me, I'm going to have a word with your partner next time I see him.
Well, now you let the other cat out of the bag.
Yep, he let the
I
cat
didn't
out of
call
the bag.
any ringers on Lake
He
Watering.
told on him today.
I was just gonna leave that as a little surprise, and then Butch had to go ruin all that.
Yep, just so happens I ran into him.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't have been down there practicing.
It wasn't.
Yeah, he
I was
was.
just down there fishing. Why's it got to be practicing? Can't I just go fishing?
All right, then post the waypoints.
Okay, I don't mind. Well, I didn't even make any.
He only caught him for 45 minutes. I mean,
Yeah,
what else
that's
you wanna
right.
know?
Yeah, and they're trying to take that away now. So I mean, what does it matter?
Level the playing field, I
The
guess.
lake's as big as Buster Boyd down. I'm sure you can figure it out.
Nah, it's a little bigger than that.
Oh, Sean Wallace said the herring spawn on Murray is on fire.
It is.
I bet we could get Wallace to go down there on Saturday.
You need to just take Queen out there and let him sit in the back of the boat with a shotgun.
No,
No.
let him shoot cormorants.
You go to Hickory, you can shoot a turkey off the bass boat. I've seen a bunch of them up there.
Yeah,
I'll tell you where I've seen the most turkeys in a bass boat is on Lake James. But I don't think you could shoot them off the bass boat up there in the middle of the national forest.
they frown on that for sure.
Listen, Queen doesn't need to travel to kill a turkey. He needs to stay around the house. I had one cross the road right above his house the other day.
Joker's saying he's flying to Missouri or something. Or not flying, he says he's going to drive
Drive.
and make it in
13 hours. Good luck with that, Reggie.
I've been to Missouri.
See, right, I'd have another tournament on Wiley on Saturday, but it sounds like nobody would come.
Yeah, I'm out. Y'all can have it.
So, we having a tournament? See, right, if you can come up with 16 boats that'll come, we're in.
Uh-oh.
How
Andy
long
wants to know
does-
how long the herring spawn goes on.
We started to go there, and Shane never really ended that discussion.
As far as you
When-
talking about time
when it's
wise,
over.
right now I think it's just getting started good right now. I think probably the next 2 or 3 weeks is going to be your best time.
Is that a water temperature deal too?
When the water temperature gets to that, I'm just going to use, let's just say 78 to 80 degrees. I think when it gets up to that temperature is when it kind of starts going away. It's a lot less, dependable. You'll see the weights and stuff start going down in the tournaments. But that's just kind of what I've always used as a guideline. Once it gets to there, you kind of have to start looking for other things like fry garters and stuff like that.
Offshore blades.
Yeah, offshore. I mean, if that's what you so choose. I don't know I don't think there's been a very good offshore bite at Murray in a long time.
Well, as far as Murray, no. But there are other places.
As in where?
Hartwell.
Nobody wants to go fish a brush pile in 40 foot of water with a drop shot.
But the
Nobody
locals
wants to do that.
Nobody does want to do it, but you have to sometimes.
No, you don't.
Well,
Ask Jamie Rampy. No, you
okay. Without divulging secrets of the lake.
Oh, no, hold on now. Shane just gave up the daggone skinny dipper juice.
That's right.
Can't be holding out now.
What?
You ain't driving to Hartwell.
Oh.
No.
If it was an
Oh no!
I'd be
Oh
there.
no! He can no. Nope.
When you wanna go?
The Rusty Hook Skeeter does not leave Lake Wiley. If it goes to water, he's getting in a boat with somebody.
You think?
Yeah, I know. I've seen that
think?
happen.
Who?
I said, "Well, see right."
See, right rode my boat.
Oh, is that why y'all lost?
Oh boy. If it was a legitimate 5-fish tournament, there wouldn't have been a loss. I promise you.
No, that's where you're wrong. That's
well,
where you're wrong. I slapped you around with 3, and
Yeah.
I threw back some myself.
Okay.
Y'all would have lost. I
don't
promise.
know.
Yeah, you'd have lost.
Maybe.
Where was that at?
Water.
It's watery this past
Back,
year.
Thomas had one of them little
Oh,
things through the week.
Slacker tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, slacker tournament.
Started out as a retiree trail that turned into a pro trail and pro and slacker tournament.
There's been a lot of that with everybody staying home and
Yeah, I can't help it. I just like to fish. That's the only thing about it. I just like to fish.
well, you giving David a hard time about.
I
See,
give
right,
I
being,
give everybody a hard time.
being in his boat. We sucked it up 2 weeks in a row. Once in my boat and once in your boat.
That means
so we
both of
just
our boats
suck.
suck. We don't discriminate. we got thumped both weeks, didn't we?
So we need to borrow somebody's boat.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody let us borrow a lucky boat.
Should never got rid of that red one.
You know, that was a lucky boat. I won some serious money in that boat. Oh, goodness.
All right, well, I think we about covered the gamut.
I believe we have.
Do we want to pitch the Wednesday deal?
Uh,
Well, you got something going on at night?
I don't know. Now let's don't.
All right.
Let's
Why,
don't.
why you scared it might wake up?
Well, you just don't want it to get out of hand.
Jody said him and Chris will be at Murray if you fish it.
If you build it, they will come.
That's
I'm
true.
telling you.
Hey,
So Murray's another place that's like
I got two
Norman.
pieces of paper. Tournament A and Tournament B. We can make something happen. Huh?
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm just saying Murray is a lot like Norman. If you put something on down there, people are
No,
gonna
if
come.
a little bit of word gets out at Murray, you'll have a bunch of boats.
Those guys, for whatever reason, there's just not a lot of tournaments down there. When, I mean, you know, outside the cat trail down there, there's not really anything that goes there.
Where'd you take out of when you went to Murray? Is Billy Dreher open yet?
No. We went out of Cranes Landing, which is in the back of Crystal Lake.
Okay.
I don't really, that's the only ramp that I know of.
Jody, you and Chris know if Billy Dreher's open yet?
No, it's
And-
a state park.
It's
They
state
haven't,
parks,
yeah,
state
they
parks,
haven't opened
okay.
any state parks. I figure probably Buffalo Creek's open, and maybe what's the other one? Oh shoot, help me out here, Jody and Chris. What's the other ramp that's on the way to Buffalo Creek down there on the right? Is it Hollins? I think it might be Hollins, but I can't remember.
I don't know the ramps down there was, but
Yeah.
we either take off from the dam or Billy Dreher's or we always take
Yeah.
off from.
You could maybe go out Larry Coons. I don't know if that's open or not.
Yeah.
He hadn't responded yet.
That's where most of those guys go out of down there when they have their deals, Coons, which is Shoal Island for people.
That's on Lexington. Yeah, I know where that one is.
Yeah.
And Mark, to answer your question, I'll let you know, buddy. We still don't know.
Queen's pushing the guest speaker deal. What about the guest speaker?
No,
We don't have one tonight. Our
we don't
guest
have
speaker
one tonight.
is-
We will have a guest speaker next week.
is the infamous
Um,
David Winters tonight.
There's
Yeah.
no guest here.
We just figured we could talk shad spawn, herring spawn stuff tonight, just to maybe give a little insight on something that maybe somebody don't know.
All right, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 baits laying right there.
9 topwater baits.
Top water baits.
We didn't even touch the subsurface stuff.
Oh man. Tune in Wednesday. Lake Murray Landing is what Jody said.
Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll figure that out. But I think that's about all we got for
All
tonight.
right, well, let's wrap it up.
What?
Here at Rusty
Oh.
Hooks.
Yeah. Rusty Hooks Live. Where our hooks may be rusty, but our points are always sharp.
You almost looked at the camera the whole time.
The whole time.
Almost.
You
He's
got
up to
half there in
He's
there.
scared of it.
He always looks at me when he says it.
Yeah, guys, thanks for
Kyle's
tuning in
getting
tonight.
blocked. Kyle's getting blocked.
Get off here. Thanks for watching, guys. Tune in again next Monday night where we will have a guest speaker, and going to try to give a little heads up maybe toward the end of the week on who it's going to be. You know, we're going to try to do a little better on Facebook as far as letting people know who we're going to have or if we're going to have anybody. You know, if you guys don't mind sharing our link to Rusty Hooks, we'll try to get this thing, get it going a little bigger, a little better. And thanks to everybody for watching and for all the people that we give a hard time to. It's just fun.
See you next week.
Thank you.